Welcome back to Landon Tries It. Today we're going to continue to work on our Cub Cadet riding mower. This video is going to contain the replacement of a pulley in the drive belt system. It has seized up or got rusty or something, and it's creating a lot of racket when you try to move the mower forward or back. So we're going to get started on replacing that today. Is release the deck so it's all the way to the ground, or as close to the ground as it can get. Then the next thing is we're going to be removing the belt guard, which is kind of up on the front here. You'll see a couple of pulleys. And what it is, it's basically just a little round piece of metal that's kind of wrapped around the belt, just kind of as a guard, so rocks and sticks can't break it off, or knock the belt off is what I mean. And all it is just a couple of 13mm bolts, nothing real crazy, but I've done it without taking this off, but it really seems a lot easier just to do it. Go ahead and take it off. It gives you a lot more room to work with as far as getting the belts off the pulleys and things like that. It's just a couple of 13mm bolts, one on each side. And I like doing this first, that way things don't get in the way as you start to remove the deck. You can kind of see it just flopping around there. It's nothing real crazy. I just throw the bolts there on your feet pads. That way maybe they won't get lost. And there it is. It's just like a little loop of metal just to hold the belt in place. And really that's all we'll need that wrench for. Now what I like to do, our first point of attachment on the deck is up here on the front. It just has like this strut rod with a little clip and washer that just holds it in the front of the deck housing. I like to remove this first because the rear attachment points, it actually kind of holds it steady. And see, that strut rod just comes right out like that. And then on the back you'll have just two little hooks, and all they will do is you pull them out and they will kind of twist. I said it would. I think it's been a minute since these have been off. That's what happens when you don't use a mower much. It kind of degrades pretty quick. See if this one will be any easier. And there it is. The deck is completely loose at this point. What I like to do next is if you just kind of pull the deck towards the front just a little bit, that'll release enough tension on the belt that you can just take it right off of that drive pulley that's on the engine. Then all we do is you slide that sucker right out of the side. Quick note, raise your deck, the actual deck handle back up, and this will get those raise and lowering arms out of the way. Then your deck will slide out very easily. It's hung up on my rubber mat there. There it is. 150-inch Cub Cadet mower deck removed. It's really... Alright, I was going to give you a little bit better look at these arms that release in the back. You really just have these little hooks that slide into an eyelet, and then your bracket goes on this end of the hook, and it just kind of holds it up. And then so the brackets aren't in your way, I just pull them back like that and they'll just stay on the deck. Same this one over here. Well, this deck's really dirty, but this is a good time to sharpen your blades. Like if you want to do this in the early spring, which I've got a different mower, so that's why this one just sets. I just use it for yard work and things like that. But now we'll get a look at this pulley that's locked up. Really easy to access once your deck is out of the way. So it's going to be one of these three pulleys right here. And I'm pretty positive I can see which one it is. Definitely that one. Almost completely locked up. It's pretty hard to turn even by hand. These feel pretty good on the tensioner, but it's that, I think that could, yeah, that's just an idler pulley. So we're gonna get that sucker off real quick. Gotta grab my, it again is a, it is a 13 millimeter, I'm pretty sure. Jackpot. This stuff really isn't tight either, it just, not like super tight. If things haven't been serviced or worked on very much in a mower's life, it could be very, very tough to get out. So I'm actually going to take this bolt and lay it up here on the footrest with my other stuff. We'll grab. All right, we're back today. This is the next day, actually. I finally found the part for my drive belt. Took me 4 part stores to find this thing. So, but we got it found, and now let's get this baby on here. Ugh. I'm really glad a few of the ones I found were plastic, but this one is actually a MTD factory type steel pulley, so it's gonna be a lot better. I don't know if you can see it, but that belt has been pretty eat up by that pulley that has been locking up. This right here will make it a lot more better. I'm sure there's a torque spec on this, but you just want to get it tight, because these are normally just threaded into that steel plate, which is probably like a 1/18 of an inch thick, so the threads will strip out fairly easy, so you want to be careful tightening those up. But all of that looks good now. I'm sure it won't make at least near as much racket as it was, so. So with the pulley back on, I guess I could get to putting the deck back. That belt has seen better days, but I'm not going to replace it just yet, because I really don't mow with this very much at all. Really, I haven't mowed with it in at least a whole year. It's just kind of, I pull my little gardening trailer just to do little things around the house, so I'm not too bad worried about dull blades or anything like that right now. But you never know, it never hurts to have an extra mower laying around. That's really, I've had several people try to buy it, but it's handy to have these things sitting around. So remember, I slid the deck forward to get the belt off, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just really reverse just how I took everything off. My belt is twisted. There it is. Ah, I see. All right. See how I slid the deck forward just a little bit? Just enough to allow you to get the belt on, then slide it back. I'm gonna lower the deck arms, and what I like to do, they really only go down so far, but I like to run the handle nearly all the way down, and that gives you a little extra room to play with. Let me get my camera so I can show you exactly what's going on down here with these arms. See, right there is your deck arms. You can see it moving up and down, and that's what raises and lowers your deck. So what it is, the little hook arms, the retaining pins that I showed you yesterday, all it has to do is just line up. So what we're going to do is just you can kind of eyeball it and scooch the deck just a little bit. I'm hanging on the plastic again. That's terrible. All right. There we go. I guess I could have started on that side also. See that little arm? It has just a little slot right here in the deck stamping, and that's where you want to get that arm. That's why I let it down a little too far, and that gives you a little bit of adjustment or wiggle room, I should say. See, and then all you do is get that deck to where that hole lines up with that retaining clip, and that clip should, if I found something to grab onto, and that clip will just snap into place. It's really super easy on these mowers. I guess that's a good thing. The stuff's so dang expensive now, you don't want to work on anything. So you kind of heard that snap in. And make sure the other side is snapped in. Absolutely. So now, put this back down. If I can get my camera holder to work. And now all we've got is to hook the front back up, and it's the real easy part. Remember, it's just this strut rod attachment, and it's all it is an L bracket on that strut rod, and it goes through the front of the deck. There's a little hole, and on the end of it, it has a little washer and just a linch pin. If I could hold on to it. And just flip that linch pin down, and there it is. The deck is back on. Up and down. So our last piece of this puzzle is our belt retaining tool, or belt retaining strap. Now this, it's not complicated, but you want to pay attention. There is actually a slot. I'll let that deck back down. There is a slot in the clutch that actually rides on this thing. So you want to pay attention to where your actual clutch for your mower deck is positioned. If it's like that on your particular mower, some it may be, some it may not be. So what I'm going to do, if I can get my hand in here, is just start that bolt.